Welcome to the PokePodcast. I'm Thatch, and on today's show, we're going to have a great discussion about the number of different ways you can interact with the Pokemon franchise, including some of the difficulties, like the more recent TCG fiasco where you can't get a hold of any of the cards. We definitely dive into that. But yeah, we've got plenty of other things like our Poke Quiz, where we have our trivia show, part of the show with the co-host. That's going to be there, and a bunch of other great things. So if you can, take a look. Make sure to check out the timestamps down below if you want to skip around. And yeah, buckle up for another great episode, and I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop.
And now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PokeOpinion.
It's Puckle! It's Puckle! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! Puckle!
Welcome to another episode of the PokePodcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular co-host. We got the one and only Fluffiest Whimsicott.
Hello.
And we've got Sublimemanic.
Greetings.
Early morning for you.
It
but
is.
yeah,
That's how much I love y'all.
yeah.
We
Welcome
love
to
you
the.
too.
We do. Welcome to the PokePodcast. PuCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. And I'm back from my vacation. Though, granted, not a lot of people probably noticed that I was gone because the show released like normal and everything else operated like normal. I was really good. I was very productive. I got things done beforehand.
Smooth operator.
Yeah, nobody knew except maybe the patrons who got the episode like 3 days early.
I'm sure they didn't mind.
I'm sure they didn't. Got the episode 3 days early, so good for them. But yeah, it happens. It happens. I really appreciate everybody being here though. So no, I did do Pokemon stuff. I picked up Pokemon Go again because I was on vacation in sunny Barbados. Unlike Travie, Ohio right now, where it's just, I mean, we're in the middle of like transitioning from winter to spring, so it's all of the seasons right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we have cherry blossoms in Portland, and it's gorgeous.
Ooh, I believe
It's
that.
gorgeous. Yes, I love March
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah,
When spring is springing, it hits perfect.
No. Oh, I love spring.
it is.
'Cause I love
It's
spring.
springing here as well, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Spring has sprung.
because I was there though, I picked up Pokemon Go again, as is my want to do. When it's not winter, I play Pokemon Go, because I'm a notorious Pokemon Go hater on this podcast, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan writing me long text messages after you listen to the show.
What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, he
Hi,
and I need
Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. We're gonna. No, he's actually agreed this is gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Patreon only. But we're gonna do it here in the next few weeks if I can get him on the books. He and I are gonna do a podcast or some kind of like podcast / debate where he and I talk about Pokemon Go and like its current status. And I wanted to complain about everything he thinks that I say. I really want him to complain.
This
so that
one's for you, Ryan.
It's all for Ryan. Because
I think I know who's going to win the Green Tauros badge, and it don't even matter if they submit it.
We'll just give him I'll land him a physical one. He might do it at my house.
You can have it, Ryan. You can have it.
Right.
He might do it at my house. I'll just hand him the Green Tauros badge. Be like, you won, buddy. You won. What an email. You wrote a whole text message and you got a whole episode out of it.
Yeah. You
No,
you just put him on video and you pin it to his chest, like with a little ceremony.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Actually, but no, so I've been playing Pokemon Go. I had a good time actually playing it. It was really good. So for those of you at home who don't know this because you don't live in my body, I recently, by recently I mean like 2 months ago, I got tendinitis in my left leg.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it really sucks actually. What's terrible was because I got too good at running. That's why it happened. That's what I like to tell myself, because I used to be a very like prolific runner, or like, I don't know, like I had just gotten to the point where like I started identifying as a runner.
Mhm.
But
That is a
so
choice.
part of the problem with that is like, so it hurts to run now. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
Until
Just
like
do
I
a
get that sorted
treadmill.
out.
It's less impact. Yeah.
Well, so it's not even that. Like I just
No, not the
can't.
treadmill. The elliptical. The elliptical is like
I do
very
the
low impact.
I do the elliptical now, but I want to get back to running
It's
because I
still
like.
cardio. It's still
Yeah, no,
cardio, and
I'm
it's
not.
not mad at your tendons.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I just want to get back to actually running because I like running. And so like I'm in PT, so don't worry about it. I'll be fine. But so I was using it as like a way to start walking again. Pokemon Go. When we were in sunny Barbados.
Oh yeah,
And,
sure.
so I caught a bunch of cool stuff. Like I got a couple shinies. I just picked up a random shiny Wailord one day, or not Wailord, Wailmer. And I got like I picked up a shiny Ammonite from the event that was going on, and it's still
Nice.
where they had like Kabuto and Ammonite show up for a day, and Archon. I'm kind of bummed I got a shiny Ammonite and not like a shiny Archon, because I think shiny Archon's cooler, but it's fine. I don't know. More purple Pokemon for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm back into it now. I'm like back in the swing. I'm actually the one thing that so as much as like I poop on Gen 8 and Sword and Shield for being like pretty meh games, right?
Only
Like
because they are
Dynamax,
though.
I think the Dynamax mechanic in Pokemon Go is actually really fun. I know that at launch it was kind of a hiccup, but I think it's actually pretty fun now. I think now granted, I haven't tried to do like the big 5-star Dynamax raids. Like there was a Raikou one, and like I absolutely just didn't even try that while I was on vacation. But I really do like the Dynamax mechanic, because you get to go out, you essentially get the equivalent, and if you're just doing like the 1 and 3-star raids of like three or 4 raid passes a day. And you can go do those, and only those Pokemon can be used in Dynamax raids when you catch them. So it's like its own little ecosystem. I don't know. I actually have a lot of fun doing that. So I don't know. I've really enjoyed doing that while I was on vacation as well. And
Nice.
I did some Tapu Koko raids. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I played Pokemon Go. That's what I did in Pokemon last week essay. But yeah, you guys do anything fun
In Pokemon?
in general? I mean, we should probably stick to Pokemon, but
Okay. I've been playing TCG Pocket again. I was getting a little bored because I hadn't gotten a new card in a couple of days. Then I got a God Pack, so I guess that made up for it.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
nice! It was our week.
It was our
Wow.
time. We deserve it.
Wow. Wow.
And then it was mostly supporters, and I'm like, oh. But you know what? They're more usable. They'll stick around longer.
Well, mine had like 2 Leafeons in it, which I love Leafeon, but 5 cards, 2 are the
but
same.
not that much.
So,
Yeah. Sure.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I was happy about it. And
That's
that
cool.
is pretty much it.
Yeah. You do anything Sublime, or did you also get a God Pack? And
I did get a God Pack.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was great. I was like gobsmacked. And then I somehow in like less than a week went from having 0 Arceus EXs to 4.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
like, okay, now we're over. Now we overtuned. We overcorrected. Like I want
Yes.
something else now. Thank you. I did get the secret rare full art one that was gorgeous. The one with the
Ooh.
animation. So that was fun.
Yeah, those are always cool.
Nice.
I love the immersive cards.
They're really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Me
love
too.
those.
So follow-up question, because I have not been keeping up with Pocket, and that might relate to like the topic today, but because I'm not playing. Did they put the rank ladder in yet, or is that like next month? I know they were
I
talking
think
about
it's
putting it in.
later.
The
It's not there
It's
yet.
at the end of this month, along
Okay.
with the new set with the shiny cards. I
Yeah,
think.
they're adding a mini like
Mm.
small set again
Yeah.
in before the end of the month, and I think that's when they're doing it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm still trying to save for the next full set.
Mm,
My
Yeah,
stamina.
they're
I'm
waiting for you.
saving
They're
too.
coming. They're coming
Very
for you.
irksome.
They're coming for you, Sublime.
Oh
They're like,
no, it is too fast. Like the release cycle is like
that's
they
the
keep
point, though,
you
right? That's
struggling.
the point.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
That's the
like
point.
I spent maybe $2 on this game at the very beginning because they let you do
Yeah.
the premium pass as a free trial for a while, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, so you don't even have to spend money to try it out. And then I think I had like some Google Play points where I didn't actually spend any money. Like I just got like
Mhm.
credit for it.
Mhm.
But the
The
thing is, it's
Google
like
the
if you
Google
just think of
surveys
it
are
as a
great.
thing, yeah, if you just think of it as a thing where you get a free pack every morning and every night, like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool. Yeah.
No, that's nice. Yeah, no, that's kind of how I was doing it when I was doing it, and then I don't know, it just got to too much of like in my brain. I'm like, oh, I missed out, so like, who cares? Like, I'll just let it go.
Mm.
And I mean, eventually I'll pick it up again because it is a fun little side project. But I still like I
Yeah.
like the main cards still, if you can ever
Yeah.
find them, and that's a whole other thing in general.
That is an
Yeah.
interesting conversation. We could do a whole
Yeah.
topic about that
We
someday,
could, we
but not
absolutely
today.
could. We absolutely could. I have no
Yeah.
idea what's going on there, but yeah, it's been a fun time with that. Yeah. So I guess we could wrap it up here. There's not much else to go on about. And so yeah, this has been the topic. We're gonna go ahead and kick it on over to our news. So let's cue that epic music.
Yep.
Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about because there's actually like a lot going on, but not in Pokemon games. Again, probably going to be something to like chew on for that topic. But for those of you who don't know, Lego announced this week that they're going to be doing Pokemon collaborations. And boy, there's probably a clip of me on the podcast, if not on a podcast, on like a past stream, where I said this needs to happen because I see the Pokemon Mega Block sets all the time, and I'm like, wow, wouldn't that be great if it was Lego?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would buy the Lego ones if they were made from Lego. And maybe it was just to my wife. I don't know if I said on the show, I'm like, they're just leaving a lot of money on the table, not doing it with Lego and doing it with instead with Mega Blocks or whatever it is. Because I think the brand power of Lego and Pokemon like would do very well together. And I think it's just the two companies kind of being stubborn about it. That's what I imagine. What I imagine is Lego wants to keep X number of profits from doing like the sponsored set. And I imagine that Pokemon was like, no, we want more money than that because it's a Japanese company. So they are very like stringent on how they want to do it. But I'm actually pretty hyped. This comes out in 2026 for those of you who are unaware, but it is very exciting. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited personally about it. I probably won't buy every set because Lego is expensive. And I have other hobbies, but I really, really like that they're going with Lego now.
But for the Lego hobbyist, yeah.
For the Lego fans and everything, like if you well, you can't see here right now, but behind me I've got like a bunch of the Nano Block. I love the Nano Block. They're very detailed. And so I have a bunch of those. I would definitely buy a couple of Pokemon Legos. It depends on how they handle it too. Like if they handle it like the Mario Legos, I don't know how I'll like it, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a friend at work who's like all about Lego, so I need to talk to him about this. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah, I wonder if my friend, like, he likes Lego so much that he moved countries and went to work at Lego.
Oh, really? Wow, wild.
Yeah.
That's dedication. Okay, that's dedication, actually.
I don't know how into Pokemon he is, though, because he's a few years older than me still, which I'm also, like, borderline on the age range.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll ask him like what he thinks about this. I saw several people like freaking out about this on
Mhm.
YouTube. Like people that I didn't really know they were Lego fans, but when people are Lego fans, they are Lego fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
I know, I
if you
know.
like both, this is big news.
Yeah,
It's
my friend who's super into Lego, I talked to him about it, and he has so many sets that he has to sometimes take them apart so he can put them in storage. And then when he's
Wow.
ready to like rebuild them, he'll rebuild them and put them on display.
Well, at least you get the joy
Wow.
of building them more than once. 'Cause
Yeah.
isn't that like half
Mhm.
the fun, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of building things, you can build a bear, but a whooper actually instead at Build-A-Bear now. So
Wow,
that's something.
Teddy Ursa found dead. Teddy Ursa
Yeah,
found
Teddy Ursa
dead.
doesn't even wait. No, does Teddy Ursa not have one? Oh man,
I don't think
I haven't
so.
kept up with this. But
Build-A-Bear. There's no
I
Teddy
know.
Ursa.
okay, but they've got this adorable inner tube and goggles for it as well as like as accessories.
Oh, I do love that. That's amazing.
And it's adorable. So yeah, I guess you could get Whooper now at Build-A-Bear. So think about that. I think I am
If you
now.
want to hurt Teddy Ursa's feelings, go for it. Yeah.
Looking at it, I might do it. I don't know. I might do it. It's a lot of. I did the Pikachu way back when it first came out at Build-A-Bear, because me and a few of my friends went just kind of for the meme.
Mhm.
And I mean, we had it. We did it, and we still have them. I think it's actually in my wife's office. I'll have to pull it out and put it in the background of the video version. But yeah, Whooper, yay!
Woo.
They also officially announced the next arc of the anime, where there is a time skip. It was confirmed to only be a 1-year time skip, which feels a little weird based on the character designs, because the characters, at least the way they're positioning the camera and everything, look significantly older than like one more year.
You know, it was a rough year.
Yeah,
It was a rough
Yeah.
year.
like Roy has the biggest glow up. Like he has gone from, young kid to like Ash Ketchum-esque cool trainer,
To be fair, boys do tend to do that at a certain age.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And Dot gets a new thing. They've got this new character. I forget his name off the top of my head, but yeah. Also a shiny Mega Lucario, because fan service,
Yeah.
fan service.
Why
We-
not?
Why not? Why
No,
not?
There's no why not. No, that's Team Rocket.
There's Team Rocket's not in this anymore.
No. But they had a why not for a while. No, it was just a Wobba Fett. But
I
it
would
be nice if they
I
had-
would love a Team Rocket cameo. That would be great. Oh my gosh.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I just want any cameo from the old anime at this point in the new anime. Like any cameo. Like we haven't seen Professor Oak. We haven't seen like any of the professors that Ash has met, actually. Like they've been avoiding anybody that Ash has ever met in this
That's
anime.
a lot of people to avoid. Too.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
all of the characters. It's like all of the characters they're just avoiding. I would absolutely love them just to bump into one. Just bump into one, please. But yeah, just please give it to me. I want it so bad, guys. But yeah, all right. I'm done. So I guess I'm going to kick it to you, Whimsicott, with some Pokemon Go news.
Thank you. So, at the end of the month, between the 26th and the 30th, the Bug Out event is happening. It adds Sizzlipede to the game, and you can find it because it's attracted to lure modules. And also,
cool.
during the same event, Wurmple and Venipede will have boosted shiny rates. So,
Okay.
go
Love
get the shiny
that.
bugs.
Mhm.
And
I'm here for
then
it.
on Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m., it is Fuzzy Buddy Research Day.
Ooh,
And
fuzzy
With
buddy
during
all the
this
research day.
event-
Pokemon that should be at Build-A-Bear.
Exactly.
Yes. I think a lot of these actually are at Build-A-Bear though. Like I think
So-
I think there is a Stuffle, maybe. I feel like there has to be, right? Like there has to be a Stuffle at Build-A-Bear.
Makes sense, but I don't know if that's true. So the
There
Pokemon
has
that
to
will
be.
have boosted shiny odds in the research are Teddy Ursa, Cubchoo, Panchama, and Stuffle. And yeah, it's kind of criminal if all of these are not, in Build-A-Bear already.
Okay, wait, I'm looking up which Pokemon are Build-A-Bear. This is important information to have.
This I need to know at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, we've made too many comments about this.
Can you actually build a bear?
At Build-A-Bear. So we've got Wooper. Wooper's there, obviously. Sprigatito, there. That's the most bear Pokemon.
Dapper.
Mimikyu. Riolu. Riolu makes the cut. Cubone, rightfully so. Yamper. Pikachu.
There's a Dragonite.
There's Pikachu. There's Munchlax. There's Pikachu again. There's Scorbunny. I'm on the website, so it doesn't. It's just like
okay. So
there's a Teddy Ursa. Teddy Ursa's there. Teddy Ursa's there.
Oh,
good.
I found an actual teddy bear wearing a Pokemon shirt.
Yeah, you can. Well, you if you go to Build-A-Bear, you just put on whatever shirt you want.
Sure, I guess so, but I didn't find a Teddy Ursa. Okay.
There's a Grookey. There is a Dragonite and a Charizard. That's upsetting. And Sobble made the cut. So did Grookey. Scorbunny did as well. Bidoof. Fuecoco made it. And that's everybody. I think there's like a bunch of evolutions as well that make it. Alolan Vulpix made it.
Oh, the Teddy Ursa's wearing a really cute hoodie too.
Yeah. All right. So they made it. They made it. We were right.
Oh, I'm at peace. Good for Teddy Ursa.
The world is at peace.
Yeah, Teddy Ursa deserved it.
All right. Well, I guess this is your turn, Sublime. You have like paragraphs. I'm so sorry.
I know. TCG just keeping us busy these days. So
tell me about it.
Journey Together comes out on Friday. So will you find it in stores? Let us know.
Question mark.
I can't wait to find out.
So theoretically, like if your LGS, your local game store, held pre-releases, I think they can break. Well, they don't break street date, but they get to release it early, which is Monday, which is the day this episode comes out. So hopefully you're listening to this early enough in the day,
you
can get there when it opens.
Let it be known, yeah.
Yeah.
Make everyone jealous of you.
My plan is to go. I have a LGS that's very good about making sure that stuff comes out at MSRP and restricting it to like just buy one while you're here. And so I'm planning on trying to go there like immediately when they open. Like I'm just going to take my lunch break and go there and see if cause like, I just want a booster box, man. I just want one booster box. I will buy singles for everything else that I need, but I just want a booster box.
Fun.
Like that's all I want. Yeah. Like you look at Pokemon Center and it's just all sold out, man. What a time to be alive. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of being alive, rotation happens on TCG Live.
Yeah, that's true. I think next month is the Puckle's Badge Bonanza for TCG as well.
Yeah,
which is going to be exciting.
Do that, you should log in before then for a bunch of free things, including Hops, Dubwool, and N. We love N.
Oh yeah, we love N. We stand.
Yeah, great card. Also this week's update to TCG Live is adding a new casual mode, Trainer Trials.
Ooh,
where the rules are going to change every couple of weeks. There's a SV Singleton. Oh, I love a Singleton format.
Oh, that's so cool.
SV No Rules box. Okay, I love a No Rules box. Expanded common and uncommon only, and even gym leader challenges. So that's fun.
No, that's going to be exciting.
Also, yeah, keep it fresh.
They've really embraced Gym Leader Challenge at the Pokemon Company. I understand better because recently I've been getting into other card games, such as Magic. Not that I didn't know how to play before, but because I couldn't buy Pokemon product, I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy singles anyway, I'm going to buy singles anyway, I can just build a Magic deck. And so I've been mostly Commander, but understanding like the history of the Commander format and understanding it was a community run format.
Isn't that the 2-on-2?
No, Commander in Magic is the one where you can play. Yeah, it was not 2-on-2. It's like up to 4 players.
I see all the tournaments for it be like, oh, y'all are tag teaming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't even tag team. You just play as yourself, and you just. I mean, you don't sit at like a 4-sided table. You just sit at a table, right?
It's up to 4 play. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Commander's an interesting format. It is a singleton format as well.
We love a singleton format.
Yeah. And so understanding that in relation to the Gym Leader Challenge, it all kind of makes sense why Pokemon hasn't been like, oh, let's do official Gym Leader Challenge, because Commander was a fan run format for the longest time. Until very recently, like the rules committee was absorbed by Wizards of the Coast. But yeah, I digress. Continue on.
In other TCG related news, the next TCG Pocket set comes out on the 27th called Shining Revelry. And it has a bunch of shiny Pokemon in it as the gimmick. So you can get shiny Charizard and shiny Lucario because of
important.
Course yes, as well as some other fun Paldean Pokemon like Wiglet. Also, I do know there is a Clodsire EX. So that'll be cool. It's
They're finally bringing, they brought us back up to Gen 9 finally. There we go. You get some of it.
Yeah. And there will also be missions to get one of the 9 starter decks. 9!
Oh,
because there's 9 EXs. There's 9 EXs. So
yeah.
That's too many for a set that small. Ooh, the stress. Okay, anyway. Season 1 of Ranked Pocket also starts on the 28th and will be running for a month and has the same tiers as the video game ladder. So
cool.
Use your most degenerate strategies and profit. And then TCG Pocket also announced that they're changing their currency for trades.
Oh,
and they'll
thank
be
God.
ending the trade tokens in exchange for Shine Dust as the currency.
That's good, because Shine Dust I just have too much of.
I guess. You know what? I'm accumulating more of it than I used to, because it used to be before they released so many packs that like, oh, I could like actually accumulate enough copies of some cards that I would spend the Shine Dust to like, you know, make them look extra. Yeah, you know, make them cute. But things happen too fast that I don't get enough copies of things now, except for the promo. Anytime there's like a promo thing, I usually like jazz it up.
I see. Well,
yeah, that's what's going on with the TCG.
That's what's going on with everything. So finally, if you want Puckle's Badge Bonanza, it ends at the end of this month, but we are doing a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Rescue Team Red Blue /DX, whichever version you want to play of it. You can play however you want. You can earn your basic badge for beating Zapdos, which should only take actually like a couple hours. It's actually not a lot of gameplay. And then there's a gold badge for beating the whole story, which honestly, again, isn't that bad. It's like a 20-hour playthrough or something. Not even 20. I think you could do it in like 10. It's a relatively short game to like end. It's just got a ton of post-game content. And yeah, that's the news. So with that, guys, we are going to go ahead and we're going to kick things on over to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction, Mark. We are going to get right on into it. We've got Professor Oak here telling us it's ready to time to Poke Quiz. You can actually submit your questions, as a reminder, at pucldiscord.com. If you're already on the Discord, go to the Trivia Submissions channel, and you can drop your questions there. We use almost all fan-submitted questions now, which is awesome. You guys come up with some great trivia, and even some of that's too hard, we actually end up putting on our social media. Because some people can look it up on social media. These guys can't look it up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start things off with our first question this week, who's from a very frequent, it's a very frequent emailer. His name is Smeargle19, or not emailer, but question submission guy, a person. Smeargle19. And the question is very short, very simple, very sweet. What Pokemon has the most signature moves?
Now, when we say signature moves, does that mean only that Pokemon?
Yes, only that Pokemon.
Are we talking because I feel
like
like some signature moves are shared, right? Like,
I would argue that like what. So in the context of this question, at least, I would say that most people if the move is shared, it does not count. Like Water Shuriken is not a Greninja signature move, right?
Previously, but now it's not because Excelgor gets it.
Yeah.
Something. Ninjask gets it.
I don't think how I phrase that question is going to change the answer, but you can certainly like that clarification stops you from going down like the Water Shuriken or something route, you know?
Question.
Yes.
Do the moves for partner Pikachu in Let's Go Pikachu count?
And
no,
Eevee.
these do not count. Those games have been erased from the consciousness of the Pokemon community.
Splashy Splash. Oh, we love it. Okay. So those are out.
Because I thought, Pikachu had a few, but I'm
wondering if it might be Kyurem.
Ooh.
Because it has multiple forms that each get their own signature move.
That is true.
On top of Glaciate. Like, I'm like, is it? That's like at least 5 shared within just Kyurem having access to, right?
But Victini has access to a couple of those.
Oh, that's true. On top of V-Create. Okay. I still think, but that puts Victini at 4. Because I think Victini has 2.
Do Z moves count?
The Z moves do not count.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. I don't think it changes the answer to this question.
Because like my brain keeps wanting to go to Pikachu, but a lot of those were Z moves.
Version specific.
Let's see.
Popstar Pikachu. Pikachu Libre. But those are all like different versions of Pikachu.
Then they're not like signature moves.
I feel like it's going to be some sort of legendary that has a mechanic to like get different signature moves.
I mean, it sounds right. I like your Kyurem answer, but I think there's something that
because Kyurem gets 5. Like, what has more than 5? That's the litmus to break.
No, but that's my point. Like, it's 5, but is it actually only 3 because Victini shares 1 or 2 of those? I don't know. I can't think
I'm gonna need
of
an answer
much
here,
else.
guys.
So let's go with Kyurem, I guess.
Sure. That's the best I could come up with.
Kyurem is unfortunately incorrect. The answer is Zygarde. So you were almost there.
Zygarde. Well, how many are we counting Zygarde as having?
4. Land's Wrath, 1,000 Arrows, Core Enforcer, and 1,000 Waves.
I've never seen anyone use Core Enforcer.
Yeah, because nobody uses the 100%.
I mean,
Zygarde,
the only one anyone uses is 1,000 Arrows, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Oh
yeah.
It was a legendary that had multiple forms and ways.
Yep. You were like on the right. You had like all of the descriptors correct, and then you're just like Kyurem.
I think
without the Skyrim gets like 2 from Reshiram, 2 from Zekrom that it gets to use, right? It's like, well, if you count those, and then on top of that, it has its own signature. And I'm like, that's 5.
Yeah, I think our problem was Victini stealing its thunder.
Damn it, Victini. That's not my victory star.
Or it's ice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're 0 for 1. We're gonna move on to our next question. It's gonna be this one is gonna be from Joey Pouch Boy. What a name. How many dark type Pokemon were introduced in Generation 7, not including regional forms?
Why would why? Okay. Not including regional forms.
Not including regionals is
it's
not
like mostly
a lot.
Regionals. Okay, so that takes out the Meowth and the Persian and the Muck and the Grimer and the Rattata and the Raticate.
Yeah.
What did they add that I feel like most of the dark types added were regional forms.
They were indeed.
They indeed were. You just named 6. I can tell you it's more than it's not.
Right, I'm
it's
like,
not more than 6.
there's a lot of dark type like regional forms. Apparently, if you're from Alola, you're dark sided.
There was one of the butterfly memes for that I saw when we got Galarian Zigzagoon announced. And it was the butterfly meme, and it said it was just like the butterfly was the normal types. Was a normal type Pokemon, and then the guy was Game Freak, and it said a regional version of a normal type Pokemon, and it's Game Freak going, is this a dark type?
Literally.
Okay. So, yeah, Guzzlord is one.
Guzzlord, right?
Of
like
anything else?
budget Hydreigon.
Yeah.
Very budget.
Because I am having trouble coming up with.
I'm glad we came up with Guzzlord, frankly.
I just need a number. You know what? I'll give you a number plus or minus 1.
Okay,
that's what we'll do.
we say. Were
there any
2,
lines
and
that were new? Were there any lines that were new?
I can't think of any that have a dark type. Honestly.
I can't either.
Wait. No, that's not it. No.
I think a lot of ghosts.
The mythicals, Gen 7 has no dark type mythicals. That's Gen 8.
No, they're all fairies. They're all
Yeah.
fairies. Oh no, their Gen 9 has the
well,
chat.
I mean, there's Zeraora and Marshadow, but they're not dark types either.
No.
So I think we say 2 and we hit the spot.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
We're going with 2.
Yeah.
2 is exactly the answer. Guzzlord is 1. The other one is Incineroar. You missed Incineroar.
Duh! Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Just secretly not a firefighting type. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we tried so hard not to make this one firefighting, but we really wanted to.
I think they should have done it. Just do it. Just do it. Make every fire starter a firefighting.
Gosh.
All right. Well, your next questions are Pokedex entry. Both of you haven't been on since I've changed how it works a little bit. We are going to give you your first entry. You're going to give me a Pokemon. I'm not going to tell you whether or not it's correct. Okay, and we're going to move on to the second entry, and you have a chance to change your answer after that. If you get it correct after the first one, if you stick with your answer and it's correct, you get 2 points. If you change your answer, you get 1. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on. This question comes from the longest name that I think I've had to read on this show. This is from Mr. Coffee, the Coughing Trainer.
Wow.
And their first entry is from Pokemon Omega Ruby. This Pokemon conceals itself inside its hardened steel shell. The shell is open when the Pokemon is catching prey, but it does so at such a quick pace that the shell's insides cannot be seen.
A steel shell. Could you repeat that? That's a lot to take in.
This is a long one. This is very long. This Pokemon conceals itself inside its hardened steel shell. The shell is open when the Pokemon is catching prey, but it does so at such a quick pace that the shell's inside cannot be seen.
So there's shells inside of the shell.
No, that the shell's inside cannot be seen. Like whatever's inside the shell.
An apostrophe, yes.
Yes, there's apostrophe.
There's shells in the shell.
On the video version of the podcast, you can see the apostrophe.
Well, I don't have that benefit, listeners. And viewers,
I know.
Okay.
I tried to make it happen, to be fair, but it didn't work.
Let's see.
The first thing that came to mind, but then it kind of got lost when he said quick pace, because that is not a fast Pokemon, was Forretress.
Thinking Forretress as well. But when did Forretress ever open it up?
That's the thing. You can never see it open.
That don't add up to me, yeah.
You don't see it open because it happens too quickly. You know? And another one would be, I don't know, Shelmet, but I don't know.
Since when did Shelmet have a steel anything?
I mean, Shelmet does have the steel thingy. It gives it to Carablast, and Carablast then evolves into Escavalier. But
But also, did Shelmet have an Oros dex entry?
Everything had an Oros dex entry.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Right?
Imagine that. What a thought.
All right. I need an answer, and then we'll move on.
Yeah. We both thought of Fortress.
We
so
did.
try
So let's
that.
start with that, and we can change it later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Your next question. So Fortress, we're gonna lock that in. Your second entry is going to be from Pokemon Ultra Sun. When something approaches it, it fires off fragments of its steel shell in attack. This is not a conscious action, but a conditioned reflex.
That's Fortress.
Yeah, spikes.
Yeah, that's Fortress.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and check to see if you're correct. The answer is, in fact, Fortress. Fortress is the answer. Yeah, I've never thought about it being that there's a Pokemon inside Fortress.
Look like.
I never thought about.
That makes sense. That
yeah,
makes sense.
when I was typing it up today, I was like, I've never thought about that. To me, Fortress has always just been like the Pokemon, but I guess maybe there is a little bug inside, like manning the cannons. You know,
Yeah.
I never thought about it that.
I think
Is it like
the red part is the Pokemon, and the
That's what I always thought
part
too.
is the shell.
But I'm not so sure about that anymore.
Maybe there's like a Shedinja curse if you see inside. Like you don't want to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are three. Yes. Yeah, we said 3. 3 for 3. Your next answer is your multiple answer question. There are 8 answers here that I think you are both going to get incredibly quickly.
Well, now that you've put pressure on us, maybe not.
Now we're gonna,
no. When I read the question today, I go, wow, this is one of those questions where like it would be hard for like a casual Pokemon fan to get. But I'm like, I know these people, and we are just gonna knock that out of the park real fast. So there are 8 answers here. You are gonna get them in a record pace. So I think to get you on pace for points because you missed 1, 3 points if you get them all. No, I'm not even gonna divvy them up. It's not worth it. You guys will understand.
We'll figure it out later. Okay.
This question is from Fufu Cuddly Poof.
Love that.
And the question is, probably because they saw the same short/YouTube video I saw, where they were discussing a Pokemon of every type. If a Pokemon was every single type, it would have 8 immunities. What are they?
We can do this pretty easily. Okay, normal,
ghost,
electric, ground, fighting, poison, psychic, dragon.
Yeah, you got it. You got them all. We got it. Done.
You're
yes,
right.
ghost.
That was easy.
Ghost,
and it would
normal,
be weak to rock.
And it would be weak to rock.
Right. Ghost, normal, fighting, psychic, dragon, poison, electric, and ground are the correct answers. 3 points. There you go. Look at that. Now you guys are 6 for 4.
You were right. It's like, oh, we know our type chart, baby. Like we got that.
I was just like, I read that today, and I'm like, yep, you're gonna just knock this out of the park. All right. This next question is your last question, and it's your base stat question as always. And it is going to be from Shift on the Discord server. Which Pokemon with huge/pure power, with the huge/pure power ability, has the highest special attack? Isn't that a fun question?
Who cares? Who cares? The correct answer is who cares, right? Because
yes, but we do care because we want the point.
Yeah, but for our purposes,
and we should use the hint because we can't cash it in. So.
Yeah, right. Let's do that.
This is a dual type Pokemon.
Well,
it when it is in the game, it sees competitive use.
When it is in the game. Oh, so it's Mega Mawa.
And one of the types is Psychic.
Medicham.
Wait, does Medicham get competitive use?
It did.
Mega Medicham did.
Mega Medicham
in some tier.
Yeah.
Are we locking in Mega Medicham?
Well, like, okay, are there any other psychic dual types that get pure or like Yeah, huge power.
I
To
can't.
my
think
knowledge,
of
that's the
any.
only psychic type that gets it is the psychic fighting
Yeah.
medicine.
We going with the mega or the regular?
I mean,
that answer matters.
Oh my god. Then probably the mega, right? I'm sure they tossed a couple extra points for no reason.
So the problem here becomes, did they optimize the mega like they did with Mega Beedrill?
They so rarely do. Mega Beedrill had such low stats that they had to.
Okay,
You know?
I see. It's not like Medicham has a huge BSP.
Well, no, but they were using the pure power, huge power to get over that hurdle.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Let's do the mega then.
We're locking that in. Mega Medicham.
I bet it's Mega Medicham.
You would be winning your bet because it is in fact Mega Medicham with a base special attack of 80.
Why?
Or it's not 80. It's I think it's higher actually. It might be 85. But Azumarill is also up there with another base 80. Regular
really?
Medicham is at 80 as well. Wait, did I type this in wrong?
Azumarill does not have special attack of 80. I know that, confident.
Oops.
Azumarill has like a special attack of 50.
I need to double check my document.
It has an
real
attack
quick.
of 50.
It has both of 50. It's just all defenses, no offenses until.
Let me double check my sheet real quick while we're here.
I know Azumarill's base stats better than I should.
Let me look at my questions. Because I've got the follow-ups and I probably typed it in wrong this morning. Azumarill and it's not 80. It is 60 on Azumarill and Medicham.
Okay,
that makes more sense.
And then Mega Mile comes in after that with 55. So yeah, Mega Medicham is correct. All right, with that,
did they give so much special attack to the Mega? That is, what a waste, right?
That's what, anyway. 7 points for you guys today? Is that what we decided? 7?
I think so.
We'll take it.
I'll be convinced. I could be convinced otherwise. So, we're gonna maybe if you lied hard enough. All right, everybody's still really close. Remember, guys, points are up until the end of the year, or into the end of November. And then in December, we do our Tournament of Champions. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to check here with the point check. Top 4 get to go right now to the tournament. In first place, we've got our Sigma with 34 points.
Way to go.
In second, we've got Jushiro with 31.
Go Jushiro.
In third, we've got Seth Vilo with 29.
Way to go, Seth. I'm just rooting for everyone.
I know. In fourth place, we've got Shark Finnegan. He's the only one in the top 4 currently that was in the Tournament of Champions last year.
You did that, Mark. Look at you.
Yeah. Yep. In fifth, Sublime with 22.
Oh, look at me. Okay,
You're right at the cusp. Okay. You're right at the cusp. You could be in that top 4, Sublime.
I am a cusp. That's my sign. I am a cusp. So that checks out.
In 6th, we've got a tie between Cloud9 and Whimsicott at 21.
Okay.
Yeah. In 8th, we've got Linian at 16. And in 9th, we've got Bocephus at 11. And with that is where our standings are. We are going to go ahead, guys, and we are going to kick it on over then to our topic. Welcome to the topic. Our topic today is, as Whimsicott put it before this, do we live in a Pokemon world? This just came about because recently I've been thinking about how much Pokemon has changed over the years and how there's so many different ways to experience and enjoy Pokemon right now. And this mostly came about because while I was on vacation, I was thinking about, how Ryan and I would have our podcast debate / conversation. And how I think there certainly is a perception on this show that I really don't like Pokemon Go. And I certainly like dunking on it because I...
Well, if there's anything the Pokemon fandom does, it's to hate on things that it loves.
Yeah, right. And I literally just talked in the intro about how I was playing it and having a good time and I enjoy the Dynamax mechanic. But I do think that Pokemon Go has its own problems and things like that. But I I don't want to, I don't know. I don't want people to feel like, especially those people who were definitely listening to the show. Hi, Ryan. Who like Pokemon Go is their main way of playing Pokemon, right? And it used to be weird to me because there were people, and there are people that exist still, that like in the TCG, right? Because for the longest time, Pokemon only really had like two major threads. You had the video game and you had the TCG.
Mm-hmm.
And those were like the two main ways to enjoy the Pokemon fandom. And
Well,
To
I mean,
participate.
I would add a third.
the anime maybe, like as that leg. Yeah, you could add the anime leg as well.
Sure, but that's mostly just to propagate the other two.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's more of like an advertisement gimmick than like consumer behavior. I mean, there's obviously the toys and the plushies and stuff like that that existed for the longest of times as well. I mean, you had that whole like Burger King thing, all right? But like those two were like the main like thrust of like, this is how you play Pokemon, right? This is how you are a Pokemon trainer, right? Is through, maybe that's the better way to put it. Like you're a Pokemon trainer by you're playing the game or you're playing the TCG. And it was always weird to me because I'm obviously a big fan of the video games that we talked about ZA for the past 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it was. And I am also a fan of the TCG as people like to meme on. But that's more recent. That's more recent. But I think that of those, So I'm trying to gather my thoughts here, but what I'm trying to say is those used to be the two things. And it was always weird to me as somebody who had a video game background, which is weird again to say that I had a video game background in like Pokemon.
Oh, I mean, that's how it started
but you know,
right?
it is,
we were
right?
playing red and blue and yellow, all three of us, right?
Yeah,
and
but
there was the anime. Like that was how it started.
Yeah,
and
but
it was the thing that released right alongside the video games, the original TCG.
Yeah, well, you
that was within like the first year or two.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like you didn't like if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you don't go like, well, I have a video game background, right? In Final Fantasy, you say I'm a Final Fantasy fan. And in Pokemon, I just said I have a video game background, but it was always weird to me when like a TCG player, because the TCG doesn't get the newest cards as the game's released typically. Like Scarlet and Violet, the most recent sets. The first Scarlet and Violet set didn't come out for 6 months after Scarlet and Violet came out. So there were no Gen 9 Pokemon in the TCG for 6 months after release of Scarlet and Violet. And there were people that did not know who the new Pokemon were until they cracked the Scarlet and Violet packs.
Okay.
And I always found that weird, especially for a very long time, because these people have existed forever. And I was like, wow, you only enjoy the card game you only enjoy Pokemon for the card game? That's weird. And nowadays I can respect that, right? In much in the same way, like if Pokemon Go is like the main way that you enjoy, because this is a new thrust, right? Pokemon Go, you can just look at the Pokemon World Championships as that, right? Pokemon Go is a new way to experience Pokemon. And if you enjoy that, I think that's completely valid, right? We do like to make the joke that like people are learning about the new Pokemon as they're coming out as well. And they think that these are new Pokemon being made for Pokemon Go.
Well, you know what? Let them feel special. Good for y'all.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, I even feel that way in like the TCG community, because it's kind of split now because of Pocket. My favorite thing is watching TCG Pocket players discover card interactions that exist in the main TCG, and they get really excited because they discovered a card interaction. And they don't realize, like, as like a TCG player, we're like, yeah, we've seen this kind of thing.
That's how that works. Yeah, good job.
We've seen that for years. Yeah. I always found that very interesting. Yeah, I'm very, very interested in that. There was actually a really funny YouTube short or something that I saw recently where somebody was just like, wow, it's amazing that they made real life Pokemon TCG Pocket cards, because some of the art from TCG Pocket is ripped from old cards. And they pulled out the old cards and they were showing the art from it. I was like,
I remember the Magikarp specifically. I'm like, oh, that's the OG Magikarp art.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from like the Gen 7 era that they reused, surprisingly. Yeah, it's really weird. Like they reused a lot of that art. And I thought it was really funny that somebody was like, wow, they made like real cards for TCG Pocket cards. And I'm like, oh, this has just existed. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it's kind of weird thinking about how much it's evolved over the years as well, right? Because like I said, back in the beginning, right? There was like the video game and the trading card game. And honestly, if you were playing the trading card game, you probably played the video game.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Well,
And
actually, not necessarily, because
you don't think so?
I can remember here's my memory, like having lived through it, right? As you know, as we did. To all the youngins out there.
Yeah.
Like, not, back in the 20th century, okay? Like back during the 20th century, during the 1900s.
In the 1900s.
In the 1900s, yes. Pokemon cards were everywhere at elementary schools, and they are still, by the way. Like I sometimes work in elementary schools for my job, and Pokemon cards are just as popular now as they were then. I am very confident that a lot of the kids that I see playing with Pokemon cards have not played the video games. And that was the case back then too. Like there were a lot of people that probably did play them, but like they were so popular that like everyone had Pokemon cards. More people had Pokemon cards than played the video games. Because if you think about it, like if you invest in playing the card game, it becomes more expensive. But if you're not like investing in like playing it competitively, it is cheaper to buy a pack of cards.
Oh yeah,
like just like than to buy a Game Boy.
Than it is to buy a Game Boy Color and a cartridge, like and the batteries, because back then you had to use batteries to charge to play your game.
To be fair, batteries lasted for like a super long time in Game Boys.
Sure.
I think you can get off of like a pair of AA's in an original Game Boy. Or like a Game Boy Color, I think you get something like almost 20 hours of play out of like 2 AA's, which is pretty nice. That's why like graphics were so bad compared to like the Game Gear and the and stuff like that. Where because they're just like, no, it's the power consumption. That's what people care about. Like nobody's gonna want to change their batteries every 3 hours. Which was actually the case, I think, for the Game Gear. It was like, it chewed through batteries.
I don't know. I know a lot of people that I grew up with, like in elementary school, that would bring Pokemon cards to school. That I'm very confident were not playing Red and Blue at the time.
Oh, it's very possible. Very, very, very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's, I think Pokemon cards also, like, it's very weird to me thinking about this again, because even though I do play the TCG now, it's very weird to think that those are probably that's probably like one of the products that's like driving most of the revenue to the Pokemon company. Like, yeah, let me see if I can find it, because they're like the TCG sells so many cards. I think something like a quarter of all cards have been produced in like the past like 2 years.
What?
Sorry, Magic.
Yeah, because the demand just keeps going up too. So like they're trying to.
Who? No, it's all Pokemon cards.
Pokemon. Well, so Pokemon's also different than the other card games when you think about the TCG as well, because Magic exists and Yu-Gi-Oh. Those Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, those are the big three. There's some other ones that are coming out, right? Like you have One Piece and Digimon tried again.
Remember the original Digimon cards? That was good.
Those were weird, and I don't know how the game plays. I heard it's not good, but I still have some of those Digimon cards. But yeah, it was kind of weird seeing the but it's different.
Confusing.
Yeah, it's mostly different because I don't think people collect. I don't think the percentage of people that collect like a Magic set compared to how many people play Magic is anywhere close to the ratio between like somebody who plays the Pokemon TCG and someone who collects the Pokemon TCG.
So do you? So when you're saying that, are you saying more people collect the Pokemon TCG relatively?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Significantly more.
There are those collectors. And in a way, if you think about it, that is very Pokemon trainer coded to try to catch them all, collect them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it absolutely is. I turned off the Firefox. But yes. Yeah, no, like I think most recently, last year they put out numbers. I think they did it again this year. I just couldn't find the press release for it. But they actually, so as of March 2024, so a year ago, Pokemon Company has produced 64.8 billion Pokemon cards.
That is so
That's how many cards they
cards.
had produced, but the number of Pokemon cards that they produced from March 2023 to March 2024 was like 11 billion.
That's
and-
insane.
Yeah, they used to only make about 2 billion cards per year before then. We're in this cycle. We're stuck on TCG and I don't want to be, but but we're in this part of the cycle, right? I've noticed this happens. What's really odd is like, I've been through enough Pokemon cycles of different aspects, including the TCG ones, where people remember the Pokemon TCG exists and it gets really expensive for a little bit. This happened in 2016.
Blame influencers for that, right? But
it happened in 2016 when Pokemon Go happened, right? Because everybody remembered Pokemon existed, so they started buying Pokemon cards again. And then if things died down and you could buy Pokemon cards at MSRP, whatever. And then Pokemon was also terrible at printing cards, so like Shaman EX became $50, but whatever. And then again in 2020, Pokemon cards became popular again because people remember they existed. And then it became hard to buy product. And it like we've seen this all before. And so it's the same thing's happening again. People remember Pokemon cards existed because TCG Pocket came out and they had like an Eevee set. And so it's popular again. You can't find it on the shelves. But I am fairly confident that we will be able to find them again soon because they're just going to ramp up printing again. They've done it before where they went from, 2 billion cards in 2019 being produced to they're going to now make probably like 20 billion a year or something insane.
That's so many.
That's so wild.
False positives.
Yeah. So they're just gonna overproduce and they're gonna drive down the market because at the end of the day, the Pokemon Company doesn't care what the secondhand market price is. They care about how many they can sell.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a friend of mine told me that they went to a shop and the shop had the bulk like on a table and you could take as much of it as you wanted.
Yes. No, Pokemon bulk prices like went so Pokemon bulk used to be pretty expensive or like in terms of selling it. So this was like back in around 2020, 2021, maybe around 2022. It was at the tail end of one of these like people remember Pokemon cards existed. So values go up. And so bulk was getting pricey because people wanted to collect the old sets and everything. So I was able to get because I sold a lot of my old like Gen 7 bulk that I had lying around at the time. And I think I sold something like 13,000 cards and I ended up getting like I got a booster box plus like an extra plus an extra like couple of like another $80 or something for something like I think it was only like 10,000 cards. It wasn't that many. I say 10,000 like it's not a lot of cards, but but I mean it was a lot to sort through because you have to sort out like the rares and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of nuts. And because they were going for something like the commons were going for, I kid you not, something like 2 cents a card or something like that for me to sell it. Now it's, or maybe it was even like 3. It was insane. It was like 3 cents a card. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money for just like this Phantump that never saw play. And it was nuts. But yeah, I don't want to get caught in the TCG stuff because I mean, there's obviously a lot of cool things to talk about, but there.
Yeah. But yeah, there is something you said at the beginning of the topic.
Yes.
That I think hit the nail on the head about the whole Pokemon world thing. And you said that is the way to be a Pokemon trainer.
Yes.
I think
I thought the
nowadays,
same thing.
like what we wanted to get to is that these days you can be a fan of Pokemon without being a Pokemon trainer, if that makes sense.
I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like it's very easy to like be a Pokemon trainer now, right? in different
It's a
ways.
brand.
Yeah,
That
It's
yeah.
a
too, yes.
brand in a way that you can engage with the brand without
Mhm.
playing the games, is what I would say.
Yeah, you don't have to play. You don't have to
Like,
play the TCG or
no,
yeah. I mean, you
no,
can.
and it's like, okay, you can use it to manage your sleeping cycle. Okay, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
that
brush your
I think
teeth.
is exactly like, oh, Pokemon is helping you with your wellness now. Like, what?
Mm-mm.
That's a
Your
lifestyle
wellness.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like if you're using Pokemon to enforce better like grooming habits, that's fierce. And like
Yeah.
Yeah. And sleep
that's a
and
whole new
everything.
kind of
Yeah.
Pokemon interaction. Yeah.
You are
But
absolutely correct.
I was thinking too about, I saw a PokeTuber recently say that he's been watching the show with his kids. And he was like, no, this is the best way to actually experience the Pokemon universe, because the things that happen in the show go so far beyond what can happen in a video game or a card game.
Yeah. No,
And it's really exciting and immersive and all of that.
I think there's
Well,
just a
it's
lot of
storytelling, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
there's just a lot of ways to really interact now. And I think they're all perfectly valid, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
I think it's all
Like,
perfectly valid
okay, when I think about like how like you can be like earning like a dual income household like with no children
to
and have some really high end Pokemon stuff. Like
Oh yeah,
my two favorite shirts to wear to work are RIP Original Stitch.
I know.
Mhm.
Those are like high quality like shirts that you
Mhm.
could wear professionally. Like I wear some really subtle ones, but like I wear those a lot. I have a Murkrow
Mhm.
one, stunning, and then I have the Arbok one, which has like a really beautiful print that reads as not Pokemon explicitly, unless you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. And then they had that really nice watch. Like if you go to the Pokemon Center
Oh,
website,
Pokemon
like,
Center has
oh my
so
God.
much.
Yeah, it's a
Pokemon.
yeah. You want to feel like, oh, this is a lifestyle. I was like, go to the Pokemon Center.
The
Yeah,
Pokemon
for
Center
real.
website,
They
like
have
just
like
the
a
clothing.
furniture section, right? Like it's
I
yeah.
don't know if it's a
It's
furniture
not just the
section.
clothing.
It's like home goods.
Yeah,
They have a
it's the
home
home
goods
goods
section. That's right.
stuff.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Yeah, they have.
Like
you can
have,
cook with
like,
Pokemon. You
cookware.
can
Cookware. Think about that.
Yeah,
you can decorate your Christmas tree with Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Pokemon blankets, Pokemon pillows. I mean, it's
Drinkware,
the
tableware.
Oh, whoa! I
Yeah.
didn't realize this. They've got the Great Wave as wall art. I'm buying
With
that.
Gyarados, it's
Yeah.
cool. I
No,
like that one.
Beautiful.
yeah, no, not with Gyarados. It's the one that they officially did. It's got Lugia in it, surfing Pikachu, and just like a bunch of Pokemon on it.
Oh.
And so they officially did it. There's a playmat for it. There's a
They
deck
have
box
some
for it.
really nice coasters.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, Pokemon Center's always had really nice things. I mean,
Oh,
if
Pokemon
Yeah.
jewelry. I have Pokemon earrings.
this is not like anything. This is nothing compared to like the Japanese Pokemon Centers, which also have a
No,
bunch of this
yeah.
stuff. But
I think that's also like a good point. Okay, so in Japanese fandom, anime fandom, this is normal. Like
Yes.
you can have your house decked out
Yes.
with Naruto stuff or One Piece stuff.
They
And
have
I
a
think
gardening
Pokemon-
section? That's new.
Pokemon is like the one franchise that brought that kind of thinking into the West first.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of hit a sweet spot there with the Pokemon Mania
I think it's
at
just
the
a great.
end of the 90s.
Well, I don't know if it was just that, but because like Pokemon kind of hit a slump right in 2000, around 2002, 2003, I would
Mhm.
say, where I mean that was that not just because of my age, I think, because I do think, especially this is for the kids out there that are listening to the show, but for the kids that are listening to the show, I think that there's always a point where like you'll start playing Pokemon young. When you're, I don't know how young kids play video games now these days, but you'll play pretty young, and then a high schoolish time comes around and it's no longer cool to play Pokemon.
It's changing. I think that has changed
I
at different
think-
eras.
Yeah, I think there's always a time though where it becomes uncool. to some extent. Granted, I think the new generation is a little bit more welcoming about it than we are.
Yeah, I mean, part of it I think is that nerd culture has become like popular culture.
Yeah.
People are geekier these days.
I don't
It's
even know
more
if it's
normalized.
counterculture. It's like it's mainstream culture.
It's not
at this point.
counterculture.
Yeah.
It's like popular culture. Like,
Yeah, it's pop culture. I don't know. I think you should always be yourself, no matter what. Whoa, this is a cool sign. Pallet Town. Metal sign. I might buy this.
Still on the website.
Yeah, I'm still on the website. I have it up as like something to have on the screen while we're talking. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I'm buying that. No, I mean, Pokemon is that brand. I think they've done a very good job like going through it, because again, I don't think my point is that it's, or what I found interesting was that you can have all of these different brands, or you can have all of these different things, right? And that Pokemon is like perpetrating throughout your whole life. But I think it's more that you can enter this world in so many different ways, right? Because there's Pokemon Go, there's Pokemon Unite. There's probably people who only play Pokemon Unite, and I think
definitely,
definitely, especially like the MOBA teams that got into it. I think there's definitely people that did that. You think of like how Pokken was being pushed by Pokemon very early on, and that was most certainly being done, like being played by people who weren't Pokemon fans. They were Tekken fans that became Pokemon fans because of Pokken. Maybe they became Pokemon fans. I'm not gonna actually make that claim.
Or even when we're talking about watching something like the cartoon or the anime, let's think about how many different like television specials they have done. Like there's that one Netflix show where they're at a hotel.
Pokemon Concierge is very cute. It's very cute.
It is like they have done multiple different art styles and like different like projects that are just like, oh, we just feel like doing this project because yeah, and it very much feels like there's so many different genres of it almost to be able to enjoy, or like that might be your piece where you connect with it as a starting point.
Yeah, I totally
definitely.
It's very cool to me. Like I was just realizing how many different ways there are to interact with Pokemon, and because Pokemon Go is certainly one of them. I don't think Pokemon Go is terrible. I like to dunk on it. And honestly, Pokemon Go specifically like put a slightly bad taste into my mouth. Not because of anything Pokemon Go did outside of being like incredibly successful at launch. Because Pokemon company Game Freak was scared that Pokemon was dying at the time, like it was losing steam. Which maybe it was, but it was still like, I don't know how many copies did Sun and Moon sell? Like list of Pokemon games.
I mean, all of the Pokemon games are like some of the best selling games on every console they're on.
Yeah, or typically Pokemon games, right? Like,
yeah.
I genuinely think that Pokemon games are just very. Like they just sell very well in general. And
well, they
so,
have they have a recipe that works. Like they figured it out.
Yeah, so I've got it pulled up. Let's see. So like X and Y sold 16 million copies, and they were just like, man, Pokemon's on a decline because Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, right. Because Diamond and Pearl did like 17 million or something like that beforehand.
Well, X and Y was also the first on a new console, so like there's like a disparity in like, well, not everyone has a 3DS yet.
I think the first time that we've actually ever seen a Pokemon game, the second Pokemon game on a console, outsell the previous game on the same console is going to be Scarlet and Violet, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think Sword and Shield is around 26,600,000, something like that. That's what the website says too. And Scarlet and Violet was like super close to that in the last earnings call. It was at this website says 26,380,000. So I'm pretty sure Scarlet and Violet's going to surpass Sword and Shield like the next earnings call we get. So it's very, very interesting to see that. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
To be fair, I have been replaying Scarlet and Violet. And I'm pretty much done. I'm just missing like the second part of the DLC.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have this hankering to play some more Pokemon, but I don't want to do the Blueberry Academy stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to do something else. Oh, I still have to replay through Sword and Shield. So I booted up Pokemon Violet. Instead of Scarlet, you know? Because honestly, I thought back and I was like, do I really want to play Sword again?
Do I want to play Pokemon Sword?
Do I?
I kind of want to for like Cub Food. I really like the DLC. I think the DLC is a lot of fun.
Yeah, the DLC is good, but you have to get through the entire game before that.
You can do Isle of Armor stuff.
That is not a compliment to the game. It's not a compliment to the game. It's like, oh, but the DLC.
You can
agree.
do the DLC sooner than the end of the game in Scarlet and Violet too, but I still went through the entire game and finished the main story before I went to Kitakami the second time around too, because I was like, no, this is fun on its own.
Before we get too far off track, I want to go back to my original point to why I was pulling up sales numbers. But the reason I bring it up is because the things that Pokemon Go did were not like, it wasn't Pokemon Go's fault. It was that the Pokemon Company and maybe Game Freak to some extent saw Pokemon Go's success and was just like, wow, we really need to capitalize on that. And it went super far. And the biggest culprit and worst thing that ever happened, in my opinion, oh my gosh, I just realized this list didn't put Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as like a mainline Pokemon game. Fair.
The shade of it all.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel, because that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I think, were the biggest example of why I took issue with what Pokemon Go did to the Pokemon franchise. Because it really made Pokemon go, oh man, we really, really want these players to like join our game, and we're going to do it very heavy-handedly. In fact, we're going to go so heavy-handed that we're going to essentially make Pokemon Switch Pokemon Go. And they did it with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And I don't know. I'm not a fan.
It's its own little novelty.
Do you know when the only time that I recommended Let's Go to someone was? When my friend told me, hey, I want a Pokemon game that I can kind of play with my 4-year-old daughter. And I was like, I've got you.
Yeah, tell me about it though.
That was it.
Like, that is exactly how I feel. I'm just like, I mean, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did give us like some cool art. So like, I'm kind of cool with that. But outside of that, I don't know, man. I also am a little upset that it also probably ruined our chance of getting like a cool Kanto remake or something like that. And instead we got this like really weird like art style where you're not really Red, but Red's in the game, but you're replaying Red's adventure. And I don't know, like,
it was really cute, but
yeah. It was also, I wish I would have saw like the Dexit writing on the wall when it came out as well, but I did not. And yeah, I mean, after Let's Go came out, when they said faithful remake of BDSP, I'm like, man, Sylveon's not going to be there, is it?
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate. But yeah, Let's Go it was my biggest problem. It was just that the Pokemon Company like really, really wanted Pokemon Go to become the way that, or they really wanted to like push it as the way to interact with the community. And I don't know. I kind of like the way like things have settled very well, in my opinion. Nowadays, there's a lot of ways to interact to be a Pokemon trainer. You could, collect cards. You can, play the video game. You can play Pokemon Go. You can, I guess you could use Pokemon Sleep. I don't know who's doing that.
Someone somewhere. If you know what? If you
it's Joe
use
Merrick,
Pokemon Sleep, Write in. I want to know.
Actually,
know.
yeah, that's a mailbag question right there. Do you play Pokemon Sleep? But the mailbag question's more accurately, more than likely. How do you what are your favorite ways to interact with Pokemon?
Yeah, what's the most niche thing you do to engage with Pokemon? That's what I want to know.
I love that.
That's a good subset question.
If you're using Pokemon Sleep, I already assume you're probably doing something else.
No, I'm just interested. Yeah, I don't know that anybody's just using Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, does someone bake with Pokemon cookie cutters? I want to know.
Oh, I almost do.
What's the most esoteric Pokemon thing you do?
I almost bought the cookie cutters.
I would if I baked.
I almost bought the I almost bought the cookie cutters. I love their home section. I go there all the time.
My favorite mugs are all Pokemon, and they're such good mugs.
Surprisingly, everything on Pokemon Center is actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie. I know if I buy something from there, it's gonna actually be nice and usable.
The Christmas sweaters are always a hit.
The Christmas sweaters are very good. I keep forgetting to buy one at Christmas. And I have
two, and they are fan favorites anytime I go to a party. It's never a Pokemon party, and they always get compliments. The Psyduck one in particular, people are obsessed with.
Man, I need to get these. I should buy them now before I forget. In spring. In spring. Maybe. They need to have a sale. The website never has a sale, and that's for a reason. All right. I don't know where this discussion was supposed to end or how, but this was just mostly my thoughts, and I liked hearing your inputs on what you guys had to say and your stories. But yeah. So yeah, let us know how you interact with the Pokemon community. Sublime wants to know the most niche ways. I just want to know how, what's your favorite way in general, right? Do you just play the video game? Do you just play Pokemon Go? How do you like to do it? Ryan, send in an email. puclpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Let us know.
All right. So yeah, with that, guys, we're gonna take a short hop and a skip over to our PokeOpinion, Puckle's PokeOpinion, the new section. Yeah.
Oh, we got opinions.
We will catch you guys on the flip flop. Welcome to Puckle's PokeOpinion. Our PokeOpinion today is going to be, what Pokemon would be the best one to travel with and why?
Ooh.
I know, isn't that a good one? I like that one a lot.
So what kind of travel?
That's a good question.
Are we traveling on the Pokemon or with the Pokemon?
You could, right? That's kind of where I was going with it. Do you just go Pidgeot so Pidgeot flies you everywhere? Right?
I want Dragonite.
Yeah, I was thinking Dragonites too.
Dragonite's good. I would pick Pidgeot because I think it's cooler. Pidgeot can also fly faster. They got rid of
Dragonite can circumnavigate the world in a day.
What? Okay, yeah, that's very reasonable. You can do that on an airplane now. Just about. That's not much faster than an airplane. Pidgeot can fly at Mach 2, which is faster than the Concorde. Which is faster than the Concorde.
Is that safe?
I don't know for you riding on the back if that's safe or not.
That doesn't you'd need some really nice goggles and some protective gear.
Also,
it's like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, Dragonite you can carry more of your luggage with because it's strong.
It's strong.
I can't take a suitcase with Pidgeot. Where's Pidgeot gonna hold my suitcase?
In his feet.
It's
He's
beak?
The feet. He's got little claws.
How big is Pidgeot? I don't trust it.
Pidgeot is actually pretty big, I think. I think it's actually really big.
I trust the Dragonite to be able to carry me and my luggage. And Pidgeot, it's all terrain. Because Dragonite can surf, or it can fly, or it can just walk with me if we're just going down to the bodega.
Pidgeot's almost 5 feet tall.
We are overlooking an even cooler answer.
Okay.
The Latias?
The Abra line? No, the Abra line.
Oh, it can just teleport?
That's not fun.
But it's practical.
That's like min-maxing travel is is
Yep.
just getting an
It's
Abra.
about the journey, not the destination.
Yes. Half
That's
the fun
a
of
shame,
travel.
right?
Excuse me, someone is sitting here with friends in a lot of different continents
fair.
and not a lot of money for plane tickets. So she would appreciate being able to
That's
teleport
fair.
to see
You know
all
what?
of her
That's a good
friends.
point. That's a good point.
That's fair.
You know.
You'd crash a lot of industries if you just
I also
teleport
kind of want
everywhere.
to take Gardevoir just for the good vibes.
Ooh.
Or
Who gets-
Togekiss. Togekiss gives really positive vibes.
Who gets teleport?
I
I'm
love
gonna Google
Togekiss.
who gets teleport. Could you imagine? We named the topic. Do we live in a Pokemon world? Right? Could you imagine in the Pokemon world? Teleport, I believe, was a TM.
I think there is an interesting restriction to teleport,
Yeah.
which is kind of like in D&D, because if you think about it, in game you cannot teleport to a location you haven't visited before,
Well, that's
which
no
might
good.
mean that the Pokemon needs to know the place that it is teleporting to.
Mm.
Which means there could be an industry much like, the Homing Pigeons one, where they breed Pokemon all over the place and then, they send them off and it's a whole thing,
That would have to be how it works. Well, no, that makes sense because you could in the games you only teleport back to the last Pokemon Center you were at, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but I was just saying, could you imagine the teleport TM and everybody being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy that real quick," so that the Pikachu that evolved into a Alolan Raichu, I guess, because Alolan Raichu gets it as a TM.
Also,
Um,
Alolan Executor gets
beautiful.
it, and that would be
Yeah.
fun.
We're just like, "Oh, this rat I caught in the backyard, it's gonna teleport now." And I
only
just
if you raise it
imagine
in
it's always sold
Hawaii,
out.
so-
I don't know, you'd also have to just make that TM expensive. You'd have it just to be prohibitively expensive.
What an American way of looking at it. You could just make
Yes.
it really cheap and then crash the airplane industry. It's fine.
Oh, we can't do that. They're too big to fail.
Looking anyway.
I should have made that joke. I shouldn't have made that joke. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Actually, surprisingly few Pokemon get teleport outside of Gen 1. Looking this up, like it's like Natu, Xatu, they get it.
The Ralts line.
The
Chansey
Claydol.
gets it now.
Claydol. Yeah. I said outside of Gen 1 Pokemon. There are a bunch of Gen 1 Pokemon. A bunch of Gen
And
1
the
Pokemon get it now
Cosmog
because of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, whatever that game was.
Oh, okay.
Like so like Butterfree gets it.
And Magmar for some reason.
Also it was a
Butterfree?
TM. It was a TM in Gen 1 in general as well. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Clefairy, Clefable, Venomoth, Arcanine.
That's wild. Okay, that would be a fun.
but
that has
Arcanine is
pretty high
fantastic.
onto the list.
Yeah,
Magneton?
with every
Arcanine
power-
gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And
Magneton
then you
gets
ride
it.
it around.
Why not?
Cloyster?
Why not?
Arcanine makes
It's the
sense if you
Magmar
teleport
for
with
me.
Arcanine, because then you can like short form travel with just riding on its back.
Yep.
I get.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
that's
Best
a
of
good
both worlds.
answer. That's a good answer.
I
Arcanine
Dragonite.
wins. Arcanine wins.
I have a great love for the
Well,
Clefable
Togekiss is
line.
something, though.
Yeah, I love Togekiss. I have a great love for the Clefable line, but I would be like, okay, buddy, we're gonna teleport. And then I would look at this cute little bugger in the eyes and I will be like, you're not gonna teleport me to the moon, are you? Oh, I don't know.
Don't
Maybe
do it.
Arcanine seems more reliable.
Arcanine does. Arcanine does seem more reliable. I
And
like
it's
Arcanine.
big and
I think
fluffy and
Arcanine wins.
warm.
I think Arcanine
Yeah.
wins the travel
Yeah.
companion, and then it reminds me
Fair.
of the Saint Bernard with the barrel and everything. You know.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Ah.
feel bad traveling on an Arcanine.
No.
Yeah, I think Arcanine is the travel companion. Yeah, I'm not even mad anymore. Yeah, I think that's the answer. I wish the shiny was better.
It's not terrible.
It's fine. It's a fine shiny. It's an okay shiny. It's fine. Oh, well, okay. Well, that was Puckle's PokeOpinion. We solved that pretty quick. Let us know if you can think of a better one in the mailbag as well. Who would make a better travel companion? But yeah, guys, with that, we're going to move on to our mailbag. Welcome to our mailbag. Our mailbag is the part of the show brought to us by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves.
I did this backwards
very
today.
early hooves.
It was a very early hooves. This is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com and you can let us know your thoughts about the last episode. Last week we did a top 5, bottom 5 mega evolutions to celebrate Pokemon ZA bringing them back. And we want to hear all of your thoughts about what those are. So we are very excited to get into that. But yes, Green Tauros sponsors the segment. It's not a real company. I am wearing the shirt today, though. That doesn't exist for anybody else. It doesn't exist for anybody else but for me.
I have that shirt too.
You do, because I made you one.
I lounge in it. Yep.
I usually just lounge in it too. But yes, because it's brought to you by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, we give out the Green Tauros badge to anybody we deem worthy. So with that, let's jump into all of the emails. I'm very excited to get into these. So we're going to go ahead. Our first email this week, I believe, is from Mike Reverie, which is Whimsicott. Whimsicott's got this one.
Mm-hmm. Hi, PuclPod. 12th time listener and first time emailer. Well, welcome to the mailbag.
Welcome.
Before getting
Also
into
specific.
my top
12th.
Yes, I like that. I don't like saying that. It's hard to say, but I like that. Before getting into my top and bottom 5 megas, I wanted to say that I'm so happy to have found the pod. It's a lot of fun to listen to. I've been going back and listening to previous top bottom 5 episodes, and they've been an absolute hoot. I love that joke.
That's a good callback. I wish it would have been capital H's. I'm doing that myself. We're fixing this. We're fixing your email. Hot edit.
I'm hoping and doubting that there could be a way to incorporate megas into some of the single/2-stage Pokemon as just an evolution, because it's unfortunate to have them locked out of future growth. Maybe a semi-irreversible pollution incident by an evil corporation or something.
I don't.
Okay.
I did read this when the email first came in this week, and I read that paragraph, and I'm like, and actually, I don't think it's that difficult of an idea for it to happen. You know, only because they just seem to kind of throw all the rules out the window, right? Like Pokemon who have mega evolutions have regionals now, right? I think specifically just Slowbro, but Slowbro has a regional. And you know what happens with Galarian Slowbro? Does Galarian Slowbro become Mega Galarian Slowbro? Or
I don't think so.
No, in my personal opinion, I think like they'll just do whatever, right? I also look at something like Duraludon, which had a G-Max form, getting an evolution afterwards anyway. So I think it's perfectly possible. It's so weird that even like if you have a G-Max Duraludon or something like that, it can't evolve into Archaldon or something like that. There's a weird thing with it in the game. But there's a weird interaction. I forget exactly what it is. But yeah, so they have these Pokemon that have gotten special forms and special treatment before. And I think, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right,
Okay, so,
keep going. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Anyways, my favorite and least favorite megas are also based on vibes, because in the games I'm more of a collector explorer than a competitive battler. My Megastone would be placed in a pocket watch style necklace that I wear a lot, because the surprise is half the fun. I like that. I also think that if I lived in the Pokemon world, I'd be a researcher with a contest hobby, so I'm sure that leaks into my rankings. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5. 5th place, Beedrill. I also think that Megas should be a natural continuation of the line. Beedrill does this so well. 4th place, Mawile. I do really enjoy that it sprouts a second mouth like plants tend to do when they branch off. The Mega really brings Mawile's sass to the next level and boosts the stats of one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. 3rd place, Sableye. I know that Sableye isn't particularly good, but I think it's just adorable. I'm looking forward to watching the Mega in motion in ZA to see if it just chucks Diamond as part of its attacks. It's adorable. 2nd place, Diancie. there's something about this design that really makes me happy. Carbink is one of my Carbink is
Deonce's
one of my
great.
favorites. Yeah. I have a feeling that this person likes shiny rocks. Carbink is one of my favorite single stage Pokemon, and I appreciate the lore that surrounds them both. The Mega feels natural and has a very big design without seeming overdone. Well, that's the Sailor Moon of it all for you. What? It's Sailor Moon, and it's wonderful.
I'm going to
first-
a Sailor Moon concert next Friday, and I'm
beautiful.
I've never watched much Sailor Moon. I'm culturally aware of Sailor Moon, and I know more than I should. Like I know there's a Sailor Pluto who's essentially a grad student. Like
yes.
I know too much. I know too much.
and yet not enough.
Probably.
Oh gosh. Yeah, back when Pluto was a planet. First place, Bayonet. Mega Bayonet is one of my absolute favorites. I think that if I were a trainer who could use Megas, Mega Bayonet would probably be my ace Pokemon. It's a continuation of Bayonet in a natural and haunting way, and Shuppet/Bayonet have always had a special place in my heart. I use them whenever they're available. I also think it would be great for contests with a cutesy, spooky aesthetic. I'd like to give an honorable mention to Mega Metagross for being cool looking. Yeah, fair.
It was like a terror for the longest time in competitive.
I hated it because of
It was
that.
a terror. Like it was, especially once they changed how speed works in Gen 7, it became nightmare.
Oh gosh.
You used to have to like run Protect on it. I remember people used to run Protect on it so it could like Mega Evolve one turn.
Get the bump in speed.
Yeah, and get the speed bump.
The bottom 5 was much harder for me because there are many I find kind of boring, i.e. Garchomp, too much, i.e. Pinsir, or awkward, i.e. Swampert. Here we go. Bottom 5, 5th place, Kangaskhan. I don't really understand what makes this mega special design-wise. It literally
it was the
child
ability
on the ground. Yeah,
it's not the design; it's the power.
Yeah. It literally puts its child on the ground and they move together. It doesn't feel like a mega, but more like a parent who needs a rest.
The baby does
doesn't?
become bigger though as well.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a bit bigger. But yes, you're correct.
Yeah, it goes from like toddler to second grade. 4th place, Charizard. I've played the game since Pokemon Blue, having chosen Bulbasaur and Squirtle in my blue or leaf green playthroughs, respectively. I understand that Charizard is the ticket for a lot of people. I'm not one of those people, so 2 of them felt accepted.
Oh, I love that they put both.
No,
that's great.
They are correct. They are correct.
Yeah. This feels especially true with Gigantamax Charizard, looking like a combo of the two, to me personally. Given the choice, I prefer wise person, because it makes more sense even if it's just an added spike or 2. It's a bit boring that way. Excuse me, I like it. But I prefer less obvious fan service to more, as that's what placed this on my least favorites. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Absolutely agree. I think there was a point when we were doing the podcast back in 2013. Oh God. 12 years ago when we did it, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll get Blastoise Y and Blastoise X and Venusaur Y and Venusaur X, and it never happened.
Gosh.
And you know what? Justice for those two. Justice for them, please.
For real.
There's
Justice.
There is Charizard bias. There always has.
Like it's just bad. I don't like it.
I'll even take the Soviet Thatch slander because this is fair, honestly.
Yeah, no, I would be okay with Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y existing if they just gave me both for Blastoise and both for Venusaur.
I would be fine if like there was a different non-fire type like starter Mega Evolution for Gen 3 that got a second form. Like give us a second Mega Sceptile.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
just
have been okay with
spread the
that.
love. Like, I'm okay with one of the trio getting 2, but it needs to be a different type.
It needs to
time.
not just be Charizard. Like
It needs to not always be Charizard.
Yeah.
Charizard can't be all of the things all of the time. Like,
I know.
It's fine.
It's
fine. But that's okay because there's Lucario for the other times, right?
right. Lucario didn't even get 2 though. Lucario doesn't even get 2.
No, but Lucario's a freebie. You get one for free.
To be fair, Mega Lucario is like a one-time banger, and it's done well. So,
Oh well. Back to the email. Third place, Aerodactyl. This isn't a Pokemon I particularly enjoy normally, so I suppose it isn't a surprise to me that I don't particularly like it featuring some extra rocks. Also, while I understand that Mega Evolution is a painful experience, I don't think it needs to look like it. I wish it just wasn't. Second place,
It looked like it has
Gyarados.
good condition. That's fair.
Yeah. Gyarados. I feel conflicted about this one because I appreciate its typing so much, but it reminds me of someone stuffing an accordion, and I can't get past that.
that is so correct. That is so correct.
I can't. Okay. Oh God. Oh, okay. First place and least favorite, Glalie. What even is that? And better yet, why? And I think those are excellent questions. Yes.
Continue
I
to
agree
ask those
wholeheartedly.
questions. Those are correct questions.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to read my email. Hope everyone has a wonderful week, and that's all, folks. My favorite. P.S. Justice for Mega Pidgeot. Heck yeah.
No, justice for Mega Pidgeot.
What justice? Like, Mega Pidgeot had its moment. What's the justice it needs?
No, they didn't want it in the top 5 last week, and that upsets me.
Oh, okay.
I love Mega Pidgeot.
I wouldn't put it in the top 5 either, but it's nice.
Whimsicott and I are going to go have our own episode, and you're not invited. Okay.
That's fine. That is okay.
Can we put Mega Ampharos on there?
Yes, we can put Fabian on there.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, I'm there.
Yes, absolutely. What kind of question is this? All right. Our next email this week is going to be from, I already forgot their name, Garden Geek. There we go.
Also,
right.
I'm sorry, but you, it's not Fabio, it's Thoriel. Like
L'Oreal is fine. That's fine. That's fine.
not L'Oreal, Thoriel. It's an electric type.
Sure. If that makes if that's how you want to do it, sure.
It makes me happy.
It makes me happy. Oh, I'm trying to grab my thing. There we go. I fixed it. All right. How do you shuckle, Thatch and Puckle? It's Garden Geek here. Longtime listener, first time emailer here for top 5 and bottom 5 Mega Evolutions. Warning. Rose tinted glasses have been applied. Oh man, that's pretty good actually. Top number 1, Mega Salamence. I've always liked Salamence, probably due to the anime and especially its Mega. When I got Ultra Moon, the first thing I did was get a Salamence. When I got it, I was thrilled, and Mega Salamence will always be my favorite. Number 2, Mega Sceptile. Trico was my starter in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and I was not expecting it to Mega. Even though it wasn't good, level 59, I just love the design. You can make anything good now. Okay, sir?
Well, you can use it.
Number 3, Mega Rayquaza. Absolute cinema. I assume that's something the youth say. I don't know. Number 4, Mega Beedrill. Masuda, how can we make Beedrill better? Coworker, by giving it speed and attack. Number 5, Mega Metagross. I had a shiny of Metagross in X and Y. My specialist, if I were a Steelite type gym leader. That's good. That's solid. Bottom. Mega Abomasnow. What did they do to you, Abomasnow? It looks like you went to Build-A-Bear. It does, though.
They made the Teddy Ursa.
Number 4, Mega Mile. Just take it out and let Dragonite get a Mega.
Ah,
I don't know that I agree with that
okay.
take.
No, I love Mega Mile though.
Yeah.
Mobile is like one of the best.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Number 3, Mega Aggron. How do we make a Mega for Aggron? I know, just make it uglier. Just take it out and give Slowking a Mega. I love to just take it out and give this other Pokemon I want a Mega. Number 2, Mega Charizard X. The more tolerable out of the two, just take it out and give Flygon a Mega to appeal to the masses.
I think appealing to the masses is exactly what they were doing with Mega Charizard.
That's exactly what they did with Mega.
Flygon
That's
in
Number 1, Mega Charizard Y. The less tolerable one out of the two. Take it out and give
Wow.
Ceruledge a Mega.
So
And I think that's the end of the email. I think that's the end.
Give Ceruledge a Mega took me out. That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got another one from Thomas O'Brien, and I believe you got this one, Sublime.
Yeah, I do. All right. Hey there, Puckle. As soon as I started thinking of my list, I immediately knew the ones I wanted to include in my top 5. Then I remembered it's a top 5 and not a top 10. I guess this was harder than I thought.
I
Top
feel
5.
you.
Very that. Mega Blastoise. It has 2 arm cannons and a giant cannon shooting out of its back. What more could you want from a Mega Evolution?
Nothing.
For
He's
it
perfect.
to punch people in the face and then
Yes.
shoot the cannon.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
That's what Pokken is for. Okay.
It does
that's pretty
do
much what it does.
It does essentially that. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, Mega Gengar. It looks like it could steal your soul just by being within 500 feet of you. I love it, and its shiny form. Completely agree. Shiny Mega Gengar is the best shiny Mega.
Yes.
Mega Diancie. Ooh, person after my own heart. My favorite mythical got a Mega Evolution, even better than I could have imagined. Correct. Mega Gardevoir. More specifically, shiny Mega Gardevoir. I caught a shiny Gardevoir on Pokemon Go recently and was astounded that I missed out on shiny Mega Gardevoir while playing Gen 6. I use it in Pokemon Go as much as I can. And number 1 is Mega Absol. Maybe I'm just an emo kid at heart, but this Mega Evolution looks fantastic. I wish they gave it a second type, but I agree.
Yeah, I wish they would have given
Fairy,
like
Dark Fairy,
Dark
come
Fairy.
on,
Exactly.
Should've been. Yeah.
Would have been so cool. But we digress. Honorable mentions, basically every other Mega not listed in my bottom 5, especially Mega Kangaskhan. Its dominance in VGC deserves recognition.
Chalk.
You
Tell me about
know?
it. The K and
true.
Chalk.
Oh, I remember Chalk. Oh, what a time. What a time.
Yeah. Chalk
Gen
was
6 really
bad.
was the peak. Anyway. Bottom 5. Mega Venusaur. I'm willing to die on this hill. The flower on its back gets marginally bigger, and that's it. It's so underwhelming. Mega Slowbro. It looks like it would fall over at the slightest puff of wind. Well, you know.
That's mean.
It does have psychic powers, so I feel like it can balance itself.
Yeah.
But that's a very good point. Oh, this was going to upset Seth. Sorry, Seth. Mega Sableye. It just hides behind a giant gem. Surely they had better designs for other Pokemon they could have used. Mega Sharpedo. It just gets a few more markings on its body. That's about it.
Actually, kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do, right? Like, at a certain point. Mega Audino. This is Mega Stone Collection filler for me. Correct. We did not. No one asked for Mega Audino.
Okay, but Mega Audino did do that really cool thing that one time when it won Worlds in the TCG.
The TCG.
Yeah, the TCG's fine. That's acceptable.
It was such an underdog that people didn't know what the card did.
Yeah, they had to read
That's
it.
how you
It was
do
funny.
Worlds. You have to plan for Worlds in that way. I agree though. It is Mega Stone filler. And dishonorable mention, not Mega Lucario, but the fact that the game forces Mega Lucario to be the first Mega Evolution you use. I wanted to use my Mega Blastoise ASAP. I'm collecting bets on whether or not Mega Charizard Z will be introduced in Pokemon Legends VA. Y'all want in? As always, keep up the good work, Thomas O'Brien.
I don't think they will. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna add that many Megas.
That is
to
funny,
be honestly.
That is funny.
But yeah. All right. We've done 3 emails, and that's typically what we do. However, it's a top 5 episode, and our good friend Tamal always writes a very funny email for these, and so it's just like part of the show now. And so I've taken a spot for him specifically. That way everybody else gets the chance to get their emails read on the show as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into this email from Tamal. Good day, Puckle. Increased strength, dramatically changed appearances, intense mood swings. But enough about my experiences going through puberty. I'm here to talk about Mega Evolution. Mega Pokemon are often ranked based on their role in battle or how cool they look, but underneath their harsh exteriors beats the heart of a sensitive soul that really just needs a bit of love. So here are my top 5 and bottom 5 Mega Pokemon, but they are ranked on their huggability.
Oh, yes.
I put together a huggability tier list of every Pokemon, or every Mega Pokemon, with the help of my wife, of whom I'm celebrating 10 years of marriage with early next month. And if anyone knows what makes a good hug, it's her. So let's get into the ranking. Well, congratulations, Timal, on your 10 years of marriage. Yep.
That's adorable.
And thank you to your wife for helping to put this together. I actually have a picture of his tier list at the bottom of this email. So, top 5. Number 5, Mega Lopunny. Okay, get your jokes out of the way now. Welcome back. Lopunny is at the top of A tier for huggability. It's a tall, soft boy / gal, and give extra hugging power with those massive ears. Just be careful because one flick of those ears could turn you into something that resembles mashed potato mixed with ketchup. Number 4.
Yummy.
Mega Gardevoir. Ranked at the bottom of S tier, it would be just like hugging someone who is wearing a ball gown. Try not to step on the hem, though, because I'm pretty sure the dress is still part of Gardevoir's body, and that would hurt. This Pokemon would give soft, polite hugs that would make you feel incredibly safe due to its naturally protective nature.
Oh.
Number 3, Mega Audino. You get 3 benefits in one when you hug this round boy. 1, it's super soft and comfy. 2, it can rapidly assess your physical condition and use Heal Pulse to cure whatever ails you. 3, it also releases pulses that help with your mental health, which given the state of the world it is currently in, we all definitely need. Number 2, Mega Ampharos. Just look at it. Look at this majestic beast. I don't care if I get slightly zapped. I'm giving this thing a big hug. Look at that hair. I love this little giraffe sheep lighthouse. S tier. Number 3.
That's me clapping.
Mega Altaria. You all knew it would be at the top of S tier. Hugging this beautiful Pokemon would be like hugging the world's softest, fluffiest plush animal. And it also sings soothing songs. It's a hugger that you could just fall asleep on. Most huggable Mega Pokemon, no debate. Altaria was the top choice of my previous stuck in an elevator overnight ranking on Hoenn Pokemon. So I think we're in agreement that Altaria rules. They actually
Very much so.
They actually made that was like one of the life-size Pokemon they made is Altaria.
Yeah.
And it's very comfy.
I'm so sad that I'm not rich. Like, I wish I was rich just so I could buy that.
Bottom 5. Number 5, Mega Glalie. This horrid creature is in a permanently peeved off mood because his jaw has been smashed and it can't eat anything. So if you're trying to hug it, it will just freeze you and you'll definitely die. It doesn't have arms, so even if it somehow chilled the heck out, you still couldn't reciprocate.
Poor
Number
thing.
4, Mega Sharpedo. The bane of every visitor to the waters of the Isle of Armor, Sharpedo is already pretty unappealing to hug. Who would want to hug a creature made of concentrated hate that shoots water out of its bum? This is true. Read its dex entries. Then it mega evolves, and then if you do manage to hug it, it shoots retractable fangs out of the side of its head. Mega Sharpedo will turn you into red mist faster than billionaires in a homemade submarine.
Well, at least sharks are smooth, so you know.
True. At least in one direction.
Number 3, Mega Beedrill. I hate wasps. Their mission in life is to mess stuff up wherever they go. Now imagine trying to hug a wasp the size of a Great Dane that has stingers where its legs should be. Death wouldn't be instant, but it would be slow and agonizing. Do you remember that episode of Futurama where Leela gets stung by a giant space bee and wacky hijinks ensue? Getting stung after hugging Mega Beedrill would be a bit like that, but instead of crazy cartoony visuals, you'd be on the floor foaming at the mouth and praying for the sweet release of death.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mega Salamence. fun fact about Mega Salamence, its wing is actually white. And every time you've seen a Mega Salamence, you've just seen one after it's hugged its trainer.
Oh my god.
Number 1, at the very bottom of F tier, we have Mega Gengar. You could be best friends with a Gengar. It might give hugs all the time. You might even have an unbreakable bond of trust with your Gengar. The second it Mega Evolves, that all goes out the window. Or into another dimension. It only perceives you as prey. Go on, try to hug it. If you're lucky, you might be cursed. It might only be cursed for this life and the next. If you're unlucky, well, let's just say that I'd rather hug every other Pokemon on this list 1,000 times over. Hugging a Mega Gengar would result in a fate worse than death. There's no escaping it. Give up.
What if Gengar liked you, though?
I don't know. On that note, tell me which Mega Pokemon you think deserves a nice big hug. Cheers, mates. Timall and Mrs. Timall for sitting with me for 40 minutes to make this tier list. Oh my gosh.
I love you both.
And there's actually a full tier list. It's on screen on the video version.
It's
but,
amazing.
I love the names of the tiers. Let's Huggle Forever. A great hug in time. A nice hug. An okay hug. Just one is fine, please. Like hugging a limp quillfish. Awkward and painful. And will literally end you. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Good times. Well, thanks for that, Timall. And thank you to everybody for emailing in. You can email us next week at puclpodcast@gmail.com and let us know how you interact with Pokemon. Like, what do you play? Do you play the video game? Do you play the trading card game? Do you play Pokemon Go? Is your main thing Pokemon Sleep? Let us know. And why. And maybe you're... Know. Yeah, we want to know. Let us know. puclpodcast@gmail.com. Green Tauros badge, though, I'm not sure. Actually.
Ryan.
Ryan's not here.
I'm aware.
I think I want to give it to Mike Reverie. So I think Mike Reverie gets it. Mike Reverie, sure. Yeah, you get it. Justice for Mega Pidgeot. Let's go. Pidgeot gang. But yeah, with that, we're going to end the show, I guess. If you want to hang out with us throughout the week, you can come to hang out with us at pucklediscord.com, where we hang out and just talk Pokemon throughout the week. And I post pictures of my house, the inside of my house, for everybody's enjoyment. And then you can also come and hang out on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other one? Blue Sky. That's it. Additionally, you can also check us out over on YouTube at youtube.com/PokePodcast. Maybe you're watching us there now. Thank you if you are. Please subscribe, like, share, however you like the podcast. And you can also catch us on stream over at twitch.tv/ThePucklePodcast. We also stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so you can see both. But yeah, we really appreciate everybody does that. You can support the show by going over to our Patreon at patreon.com/PucklePodcast. The mugs are being shipped out this week for people at the $20 tier, so be ready for that. And we'll have some exclusive shows start popping up over there as well for people at the lower tier, at the $10 tier as well. Yeah, I think that is everything I usually say. So with that, guys, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
And I continue to be sublime.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
It's closing time.